I want to tell you, you can't beat a Wall Street Journal on paper. Picked this up in a fancy hotel. My kid had a birthday party. Look at this front page. Trump buys new order on travel. Ask what aspects of the existing order he might revise. New security measures. We have very, very strong vetting. I call it extreme vetting. Duh. So here's what Abe, the Japanese guy's trying to outsmart Trump, which shouldn't be too hard. Bombastic governing style hits hurdles. That has to do with the travel ban. Fed departure is fast to change. This is the there's a high up guy in the Fed that's going to quit, and it's expected that Trump's going to meddle in the Fed and particularly in banking regulations. Here's a story about Kazakhstan's thinking about using a Q instead of a K to spell their name. And old drug gets new price tag. Amazingly, they're going to introduce a muscular dystrophy drug that's been in Europe for decades at lower cost. They're going to introduce it at USA for $89,000 a year. That's the front page. Next page. This is a little story about using mathematics to find your ideal mate. Here's the fire. Okay, this here, schools are talking of state cuts. The states are cut. You know, the national election, we had the Democrats saying they were going to have free tuition, and but now what's happening now is the Republican governors are cutting university budgets. $8 million from each University of Iowa and Iowa State University in Iowa, and then there was one $18 million over the next University of Nebraska. Looks like they're looking at a budget cut, and Kentucky's already done it. Here's who is this? Missouri. Core funding for 4 years by $68 million. Last week he proposed slashing $116 million for universities for 18. Here's about the anti-Trump protests at Republican town halls, mostly apparently talking about corruption. This one here is interesting. Let me just read this right here. The Obama administration deported more illegal immigrants than any before it, but things are getting worse, so to speak, depending on how you look at it. Thursday, they deported this Guadalupe Garcia, a 36-year-old Mexican who lived in the U.S. for 22 years, has two children born here, so they're citizens. And she was convicted of identity theft, a felony of being arrested in 2009 with a false security card, which she probably had so she could work, but was checking in with immigrations every 6 months. This week, when she checked in, she was deported to Mexico. This here is talk about this guy Flynn, that was a national security advisor. If he talked to the Russians before he became the security advisor, but he didn't say anything substantive. If he had, it would have been illegal. Authorities launched deportation raids. I actually didn't read that one. This here is about the engineer who died that sort of invented the satellite to do telephone. It does telephone service. Here's where this is pretty good too. The Chinese called Trump, and 5 minutes into the phone call, there's Xi Jinping. He says, I'd like you to uphold the one China policy. He said to Trump in a scripted exchange. At your request, this is Trump's reply. At your request, I will do that, said Mr. Trump. What a muffin he is. So here's the Japanese guy playing golf. And let's see, I think that's... this is a little bit interesting too. The villagers resist India's toilet drive. So these women, apparently that's some sort of a toilet, Indian toilet, I guess. And they want to have better sanitation, in short. And what else do we have? I think that's most of it. The only other thing is you got a whole lot of other stuff. This is the business section. And this is, another section. This is book reviews, I think. Book reviews. And then you've got so-called off-duty. This is like human interest and vacation and stuff. And it's like, can I wear my shirt like this without a tie? Or do I have to be like that? But, and here's chocolate. Something about chocolate. So, I mean, there's so much more. So much more.